Hello, welcome to OJ Studios, please enjoy Car Troubles by Olivia Julius. Dad slowed down the car and pulled in onto the shoulder of the almost totally abandoned highway. The old car's engine started to make a weak stuttering sound as the engine quit, causing the whole car to go silent. The smell of hot oil filled the cabin of the car, and I coughed a little as the smell overtook my nostrils. "Dad?" I asked when we were completely stopped. I tried to hide the fact that I was nervous, but the sound that came out of me told my dad everything. I wanted to say more, but instead I found myself picking at my leggings, something that I have started to do as a nervous tic when I am nervous. "It's okay, Amber," Dad said, reassuring me. Dad opened his car door, and I did the same. I looked at the barren road behind me. There was never very much traffic on this road. The nearest town was 20 miles away, by foot that was going to take a while. We both slowly walked to the front of the car and looked at it. The 20-year-old red Ford wasn't the best car in the world, in fact I'd wager it was one of the worst. There was rust all over it. Dad opened the car's hood, a steam bellowed out from it. He looked at me and then shook his head. I stood next to him and helped him hold the hood up since the hood supports didn't work on this very old car. "Any ideas?" Dad asked. "No," I replied. I scanned over the car's engine, having no clue what anything did. "I thought you were a self-acclaimed grease monkey." "You know that I'm not," I said, "at least not anymore." Dad stopped and looked at me for a second. He seemed to be examining the black leggings and the blue dress that I have on. I could tell that he was wishing that my old self was back. The old me, the teenage male me. Boy, have things changed. Last year I was a teenage boy. My name back then was Shane, and I was just a few months away from graduation high school. I had already signed up to go to trade school after high school. I already knew more about cars than anyone in my high school, and I just need to prove it to the trade school so I can open my own shop. My parents were all for me doing this. Well, they were up until I was caught street racing with my modified Camaro. The judge here is strict about racing, so I was more than likely looking at jail time. My life was ruined. So, I begged my mom, who was a witch, to help me out. I was hoping that she would erase the memories of everyone that night or make the charges against me disappear. But to my surprise, she told me the only way she was willing to help me was if I agreed to all her conditions. 1. Let her erase all knowledge of being a car mechanic out of my memory. 2. Become a 5th grader again so I can learn a new marketable skill. And 3. Become her daughter. The day I stood before my mother, the reality of her conditions hit me like a ton of bricks. The weight of my past, my dreams, and the life I had built as Shane all seemed to crumble before my eyes. But the desperation in my heart outweighed the gravity of the situation. "Mom, you can't be serious," I stammered, my voice a mix of disbelief and frustration. "I mean, I get that I messed up with the street racing, but this is a lot to ask." My mother's gaze held a mixture of sympathy and determination. "Shane, you have to understand. I'm offering you a second chance, a chance to start anew. The path you were on wasn't leading you in the right direction. I can help you build a better life, but you have to be willing to make some sacrifices." I clenched my fists, struggling to process the enormity of her proposal. Giving up my identity, my skills, and even my gender was a colossal ask. But as I looked at my mother, I saw her sincerity, her belief that this was the best way forward. "And what happens to Shane?" I asked, my voice laced with uncertainty. "He'll be a memory, a part of your past," my mother replied gently. "But you'll have the chance to become someone new, to shape your destiny in a different way." I sighed, running a hand through my hair. The sense of loss was overwhelming, but so was the opportunity for a fresh start. "Fine," I said, my voice resigned. "I'll do it! I'll become your daughter!" A mixture of relief and concern flickered across my mother's face. She stepped forward and pulled me into a hug. "Thank you, Shane! You won't regret this! We'll face the challenges together!" And so, the transformation began. The following weeks were a whirlwind of change, both physical and emotional. My body shifted, and I found myself adapting to the world as a 5th grade girl named Amber. Learning a new skill set was challenging, but my determination pushed me forward. The memories of my life as Shane were slowly fading, replaced by the experiences and lessons of my new life. As Amber, I found myself exploring a world I had never imagined. The magic my mother possessed became an everyday reality, a mix of wonder and responsibility. Learning to harness my own abilities was both exhilarating and overwhelming, and my mother became my guide in this new realm. But the most profound change was the bond between my mother and me. We grew closer as we faced challenges together, as I navigated the intricate web of magic and the complexities of being a young girl. Our connection deepened, a reminder that even in the face of radical transformations, family remained a constant source of strength. Looking back, I couldn't help but acknowledge the irony of it all. From being a street racing teenage boy named Shane to a young girl named Amber, my life had taken a turn I never could have foreseen. And while the road ahead was uncertain, the lessons I had learned about second chances, sacrifice, and the unbreakable ties of family would guide me through whatever challenges lay ahead.